Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another great day of PWM, and it is the greatest day. It is the Season 1 Finals here. I am Valdez. With me is Joel Sophie to bring you the broadcast. It's going to be a good one. We got 20 of the best teams here in Korea, and I'm really excited to get into it, Joel.
It took about 7 days to decide who the best 20 teams were going to be, and we now have the list of teams that were the strongest out of the Season 1 of PWM. We do have the very nice position as to where we stand at the moment, especially the teams that are looking right at the top here. Of course, the wild cards, we have to talk about those 4 teams still in contention, but the top 16 teams, especially the ones that are very much at the top with the Gen.Gs and also BSG Luna up there as well. Got to talk about these teams being the favorites to come up, especially with the advantage point that they have, and see what they do is going to be an interesting proposition to look at.
Yeah, I think especially right at the top, the teams you mentioned, right, the Gen.Gs, the BSG Lunas, even teams like Afrika Freaks or a Team MVP, OG Enentis Ace, all these guys, ROG Centurion, champions in their own right, or close to becoming champions, finalists, all at the top, and the competition is getting fiercer and stronger here in Korea at the top, and I really feel like any of these teams could take it tonight. I know that's kind of a cliche, but at least the top 10 teams or maybe the top 7 to 5, any of those teams could definitely take it tonight, Joel.
We've had this in APL, we've had this in PSS, now we're having in PWM. The finals has to decide the very best team out of the league for today. And it's going to be about the one-day performer, the team that really performs out of these 5 rounds that we have today. It doesn't matter if you've been performing poorly and just enough to get to the finals today throughout all season long, but one day, 5 rounds to decide everything here, and the prize money will go to who performs the best out of the 5 rounds now. And we come back here and to really see which teams can surprise us today, because we talked about PSS, RG Centurion winning it out was kind of the most unexpected thing. Rocket Armor taking second. All these teams that are kind of way up there, seemingly kind of unnoticed, and they might make just a notice here for today's PWM final. Could happen again.
Yeah, they definitely could. And guys, if you are new to this, you're just tuning in for the finals. The top 20 teams that made it in, including the 4 that made it through the finals down there at the bottom, they all get a certain amount of advantage points, and it goes along the same point system that we use for the daily points and stuff like that. So Gen.G Black is going to start off up at the top with 500 advantage points before we get into 5 rounds of PUBG, and that will help them try to secure their victory.
And we get to look at, which teams are the favorites to look at here. I mean, talk about the kills coming through. BSG Luna, 2 players in top 3 with Wicked at 33 kills, with Isco, the team leader, at 28. Sexy Pig for Gen.G Black doing really well for himself at 32 kills. Lambertan at 28. Also Eska for Gen.G Gold, of course, the team leader for that team, doing very well at 25. But these are really the favorites to look at. Maybe WG Sharina just a little bit lesser than the teams that we have mentioned so far. But, kill ranking, knock ranking, it's all in the books here. And even Hulk kind of adding himself in that last edition for that Active Stars Red. These teams have been stellar throughout the season.
Yeah, Actos Stars Red, I remember doing a bit of research before we came into PWM. They certainly looked like one of the best teams that we had here, but they didn't really go up towards the top. They weren't getting consistent chicken dinners, but they finished off in 8th place, and it's nice to see them at least on the rankings there. But when you come to the damage rankings, Sexy Pig is going to be at the top. This guy was surviving by himself, taking out squads 1v3, 1v4. He certainly is the MVP of Gen.G Black.
I mean, when players in the top 5 are separated about 200 to about 100, maybe at the 400 at the least, but 500 difference in points if Sexy Pig between him and Shadow. Absolutely wonderful stuff that he did, and especially on that as a team leader, doing so well for the shot calling while doing the damage in the front line. Sexy Pig, along with the rest of the members from Gen.G Black, have really deserved to be in that 1st place position as we get to the finals and get that really the advantage point that will help them surely once we get to the results of the finals as well.
Yeah, and you guys saw the list of teams before, but these are all the teams with the players in it. Lots of familiar names in terms of the teams, but also the players. We saw Cloud9. We actually saw they had a little video at the beginning for them. They started at 39th place, and then they finished at 12th, or actually 13th. And now they're here in the finals. What do you think about their chances? Do you think they've really proved themselves and made it into the finals on a good leg?
I think for the whole entire season where we see the Cloud9 play throughout this, the regular league, and just seemed like they were on and off. And the problem is that the on and off team might be the ones to win out the championship today because it's all about that one day. I keep emphasizing that 5 rounds decided on. If the Inception and the boys, if they're ready to play here today and to represent Cloud9 in the best of ways and have that performance ready to go for 5 rounds to come, yeah, they definitely could win the championship, but you know, they've had on and off days. Off day could come about just as equally, but let's see what they had to do as well. But WGS Arena on the screen as well.
Yeah, you will notice that they have GC Boost on as the patches on their shirts. It seems like they're doing a bit of a name change, but at the same time, for now, for the, you know, they've been called WGS Arena for all the other days. We will call them that today as well. We're taking a look at some of the other teams here. Afrika Freaks Aries on your screen right now.
So them Davey and the boys still ready to play. They've always been that almost the best teams every time here in Korea. Talk about APL always looking like they were going to win out really big matches, but kind of falling short in about 3rd to 4th. But this is a team that has not fallen short with Genji Gold at 2nd place, only 1 standing away from being the best team here at PWM. They're only losing out to Genji Black, their sister team, which is kind of an accomplishment in itself. But still, lots of exciting teams here today. You see PSG Luna here on the screen as well. Lots of really kill-hungry teams that have done so well throughout the season here. See what they do for that one day, the 5-rounder to decide our champion.
Yeah, we just got to look at 2 of the big fan favorite teams. I guess 3 of them. And here's another one, Genji Black. Both Genji teams, as well as BSG Luna and obviously Cloud9, have gigantic fan groups that follow them around and, you know, cheer them on wherever they go, regardless of which tournament they're playing in.
You see Sexy Pig just fanning himself if he didn't have any enough fans already, and he's ready to play. You just really to see, you know, Genji Black doing so well. And you saw yesterday in PSS, you know, they came in 1st place without even winning a chicken dinner out of 4 rounds. And this is a team about survivability. If you want them to survive, they will find one way to do it. And Genji Black and Genji Gold, these are the 2 teams we will compare today. 85 kills give Genji Gold a higher advantage, but we talked about Genji Black is the survivability team. They put so much emphasis on being able to survive despite the outcomes. And you know, it doesn't matter if they lose 3 members very early in the game. They will somehow find ways to get top 5 even still and survive the members they do. You know, Grammatic has done so well yesterday in terms of how he performed individually, but Sexy Pig has always been there. Yunrun and Esther has always been great covers from behind, and these guys, they're just ready to play, and Genji Gold now is on the uprise with Eska kind of leading the charge here, but Sexy Pig, he's definitely going to beat him on most of these records here.
Yeah, I feel like Genji Gold as a whole, they're kind of splitting the kills. You know, Eska's on top, but it seems like they're more close, whereas Sexy Pig, Genji Black as a whole has 4 less kills than Genji Gold, but he's pulling his weight big time, 32, with the next one being 17 for Grammatic.
And look at this, Loki, like you said, exactly right. Very close in standings for every little stat they have. Genji Gold splitting equal with Loki, the next highest in kills. Right next to Eska, still gets 25 kills and 21 knocks. And Grammatic, I mean, he's done so well for this team. The newest addition for Genji Black has done so well for this team throughout multiple seasons. I mean, they're doing Season 2 right now in APL and also PSS and doing so well. And, you know, of course, it's not the 15 points per kill that we're getting this Season 2s now, but the final day we here for the PKL Pro Tour that will have that 10 points per kill here. So it's, once again, survivability going to be very much emphasized here. So teams like Genji Go, who likes to get the kills, will feel a little bit underwhelmed that they're not going to get the extra 5 points per kill, but still is going to do pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun day of matches. As we mentioned before, there will be 5 rounds that we do play. So your standard TPP, FPP on both maps, but then we will do 1 extra round of TPP on Erangel to finish us off. And I mean, I suppose that will slightly favor the teams that feel more comfortable on TPP, but honestly, up at the top level, these guys are comfortable in anywhere. I mean, Genji, they had rankings of #1 in both TPP and FPP, so they're, you know, definitely the favorites coming in. We talk about how pretty much anyone can take it, but we were talking about it before. Probably Genji Black is on top, especially with the extra advantage points they have coming into this one.
Genji Black is the favorite, no question about that. Genji Go is a close second with PSG BSG Luna looking just as good. And these teams have been running away throughout the regular season. The more matches they play, the more they prove they are the best teams in all of PWM. And we're looking at these three teams and teams below them. Can they catch up to them and really surprise us with just a performance that really outdoes our beliefs about their teams? But very well could happen. Only 5 rounds to decide. It's not about 20 matches throughout the season where we decide the best team out of the regular season. It is the finals where 5 rounds decide it all, and anyone really could take it.
Yeah, anyone could take it. Who's your favorite dark horse team coming into this one? Because, you know, it's obvious, right? Gen G Gold, Gen G Black, right? We've all heard it before, but who do you think out of, like, the bottom 10 teams that we have coming in here is most likely, in your mind, to have a good chance?
I think Cloud9 would have the best of abilities. I think they have the players, they have the innate abilities within their squad to make things happen. It just hasn't happened with the strategizing, and the shot calling has been off at multiple points in the series. And you know, that has really costed them and almost got them away from getting into the finals in the first place. I think they could get there, but a team I really want to talk about is a team that really hasn't won a big championship quite yet, and that is BSG Luna. I think they've been on the uprise only in the past 1 month, and before that, they were really never recognized as one of the top premier teams here we have in Korea, but they are now, and BSG Luna, with their aggression and with the type of play that has really surprised how you approach this game of PUBG, BSG Luna redefined this game just a bit, and I feel like they have a good chance now to be one of the champions, a new champion that we haven't had so far.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be one team that challenges the Gen G teams, it is going to be specifically BSG Luna. For myself, in terms of dark horse teams, I would say Kongdu Red Dot. You know, they were the champions of the pilot season here for PWM, and they really have ramped it up, right? And even more in a way than Cloud9 has, where it's been like 39th place, and then all of a sudden, in the last day, they barely get in. Kongdu Red Dot had a similar situation, but a bit better, and I feel like they've been a little bit more consistent. So excited to see what they can do if they can repeat win here over at SPO TV. It's going to be very exciting, guys. We're going to jump into TPP on Miramar right now to start off the finals. Here we go, Joel. Starting off the finals here, our first Season 1 at PWM, and we are going to be jumping onto Miramar TPP and starting off with a very forgiving flight path. It's exactly what I want. No RNG for now.
Forgiving could be, but I think it's a welcoming one, definitely for the finals. Ready in time, and going to get this started off in Miramar. Of course, we're going to have 2 games before we jump onto 3 games of Erangel, but we're going to have the flight trajectory being absolutely normal and be ready to go to start off our grand finals of the Season 1 of PWM. Very exciting stuff already, Valdez, and gonna get the teams ready to go in their initial farming locations. I'm gonna have no problems with that.
Yeah, and one thing we did forget to mention to you guys is we patched up a little bit, actually. We're on the current patch. We aren't, you know, before the AR nerfs or anything like that. So we're going to be playing on the same patch as all the other leagues are here in Korea. And so that's very exciting. You know, everybody's up to date now in Korea. And even for the finals, it should be a bit more competitive because I feel like the patches have been good overall, Joel.
If you're referring to live servers, Valdez, we are on patch 14 where the mollies have been updated and the stun grenades are now looking like much more viable weapons to use. And Gen G Black, they're going to be right here with Sexy Pig looking like they want to win out this one. That will secure them as very much a heavy favorites to be one of the 2 representatives for going to Berlin and representing Korea in PGI. And already exciting things really ahead for these guys. And, you know, if they do get a win, which is definitely an accomplishment in itself, they're going to be winning 2 championships out of the 3 that are currently available in all the PKL tours, with them winning out APL, losing out in PSS. And if they do in PWM, that's going to be 2 out of 3 champions won just by 1 team, and that would be an incredible feat for them.
Yeah, I mean, as we said, they are the favorites, and what do we usually say about the best teams here in PUBG? They usually get a town all for their own, right? And for Miramar, and for Genji Black, that will always be Monte Nuevo. The 4 of them just over there. Nobody will go there and try to challenge them. And even though the circle isn't perfect for Genji Black, it's not too far away. It's going to be on the east side of Miramar.
I mean, we know that, Korean teams, they're completely aware that, Monte Nuevo is going to be occupied by Genji Black, as it's going to be South Georgetown and Erangel. No one's going to challenge them, man. I think they have the information now that, you just don't want to fight Genji Black in the early game. That's kind of putting yourself on the downfall. And even if you get knocked down on Genji Black, a couple of members being down, your team's going to get wiped. And they've experienced that in the past. And they're going to be happy to farm around Monte Nuevo. Of course, the circle is a little bit opposite from it, but being a good central location that it is going to be extremely easy for Genji Black. They're, of course, the favorites of PWM Finals to advance to the next occasion.
Yeah, we're taking a look at Tumasera here. Before we do get started, Actostars Red has jumped there a couple of times, but not this time, as it is just going to be Rocket Inv and Afrika Freaks Fatal dropping there for now. Rocket Inv getting the meat of Tumasera, whereas Afrika Freaks just more so on the outskirts of that location.
And this is a situation where we're going to get the teams moving across to get to the location they want to go to. You see, kind of heading past towards Los Llanos right now. Team Clux coming already there with Rocket Armor now joining in. And, we have 3 teams right now. The 2 teams that we just mentioned, along with Actus Indigo, being that 3rd team to join in on the first round of Miramar at Los Llanos. See what that really turns out to. Of course, that's not a big problem with having 3 teams there, and it's going to allow some pretty friendly farming phase before we advance to the next phase here.
Yeah, Los Llanos, as we always say, very big city. The teams usually like to chop it up into little pieces and take their little chunk of it. It is going to be a little bit different because all of these teams were put into different groups, right? And they qualified from all the different groups. So they weren't always playing with the same teams all the time. So maybe, from time to time they'll say, hey, we're playing against this really good team. We shouldn't drop in our location because we don't really want to fight them. And they usually drop in the same location as us. So far, haven't really noticed any big mix-ups in terms of drops. Outside of RG Centurion actually did go up to Campo Militar instead of going all the way down to Puerto Paraíso, and that's mostly because of the flight path.
The resident Campo Militar homeowners are definitely Quadro that did not make it into the finals here today, so they definitely will be empty, including Zarki over there in Erangel once we do start off round 3 for the Erangel matches. And Campo Militar is a great place to start off. It just has a lot of vehicles and it does have lots of ammunition, also lots of guns available. But the health items, the med items are definitely a little bit drought in when it comes to their availability over there. But it's gonna be fine for now. And I think RG Centurion, being a combat heavy team, they're gonna like to start off at that location, see what they can get to.
Yeah. You guys are seeing the stats here for Genji Black. The purple does mean that Sexy Pig is in the top 5 ranking for every single stat. We said it before, he has been the big carry for Genji Black here for a while over at PWM. And we'll see if he can continue with that carry kind of situation for his team tonight. Everything on the line now. Before it was just about qualifying, but it's just this one day, these 5 rounds that decide who wins and who doesn't. And
even without that 500 points, right, I think Genji Black is still going to be the favorite. They're looking so good in every day of PKL tours. It doesn't matter if it's in Afrika, it doesn't matter if it's in OGN, now in SPO. They've been performing well every single day of the tournament, and they seem like the best team in Korea, and I think not many people is going to argue against that. I think Genji Gold is a close second, but still the best team that provides the most consistent results is going to be Genji Black, and see if they can do it. And of course, that 500 points will help them out in the long run, but man, I mean, if they win their 2nd championship out of the 3 that were available throughout the first half of the year here, it'll be very interesting to see if they can get that done.
Yeah, we're taking a look at OPGG Hunters here. They started off really strong just behind Afrika Freaks Ares in the same couple of groups that were fighting. And after that, they slowly just kind of, waited around the middle area, the upper middle area. They were doing decently, but they haven't really had these star-level performances tonight. We'll see, or well, not tonight, but before. But we'll see what they can do tonight and if they will show up for today.
WGS Arena, of course, the team that really isn't highlighted in any other league except PWM. Seems like Lambertan and the boys Maybe they like this Gangnam Arena more than anything here. He's just getting shot here by Oa with that Car 98. Of course, one of the additions to this patch is that M24 is a worldwide spawn now. Of course, with reduced damage, just to compensate for the availability, it's going to be a lot easier to get those. So don't be surprised by kind of overabundance of M24s more than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, that will be the case. So far, we've only seen the Car 98s in this game, but could happen a little bit later for sure. Looking at kill scores on Miramar, it's kind of funny that Genji Gold and BSG Luna have the exact same score down to the decimal points on kills.
I think Genji Gold, that's going to be them favoring them in the later parts of that season, in Season 1, doing so well in the last few weeks. And BSG Luna is showing aggression ever since the very first week of the season. And it just goes to show you, in the end, what we're going to get is an even scoreline looking like BSG Luna and Genji Gold, both power hungry when kill hungry. And the way they approach these games here has been looking good, and I think it got them basically the characters and the personality of what these teams are made of, and what they'll show once again today is going to be very expected to be bloodthirsty here.
Yeah. What we've seen so far is that a lot of these upper-level teams have just totally avoided any combat, right? They're just moving into the middle. Nobody has really fired too many shots outside of just really long-range shots on the hill, with the Car 98. But, yeah, just no action so far. Everybody just hanging around the middle side. We're still here on the first blue zone, on the first circle, so not much has happened just yet, guys. Stick with us.
Still looking at the multiple stats here for who have been performing the best throughout the season. And it's basically the three teams that we mentioned. It's basically just Genji Black, Genji Gold, and also BSG Luna at close third. Teams like OG and Entis, they're not mentioned as much anymore. Entis Ace is definitely not the best team in Korea anymore. They used to be just about a couple of months ago, especially in the first generation of what we had here in Korean PUBG. But for now, OG and Entis Ace doesn't seem to be the favorites to win out the championship. Of course, the 1 day of performance for 5 rounds, they can stick to it and bring their old stats. Could really well work out, because the circle is now starting to close and see where the players are trying to make it in. But see, not having... The more as the season went on, the players are kind of, less adept at trying to get to the late entrance of things. They're trying to get in early and trying to get to the center of the circle if they can. And not many teams are coming in late, and see that once again from this first circle.
Yeah, Sexy Pig and the boys from Genji Black trying to make their way into the middle of the circle. It looks like they have successfully done that, although a couple of shots coming out here from Christus. Even if he can't lay down any kills just yet, he'll know exactly where Genji Black is for now. So it's some good intel on finding out where this team is going to go. Obviously, he doesn't know that it is Genji Black just yet, but he'll know where this team is headed.
They are a little bit towards the west side of water treatment right now, and they're just trying to head kind of round out the cycle, trying to get to a rough rotation. See if they can get there, and of course, we do have Entis Ace who was shooting at them earlier, and also Active Stars Red split up 2-2. See what they can get out of it, but that's really not about the first rotation here. After that first rotation, we're going to see some kills coming through. Still everybody alive with all 80 players still in this, and even Asterisk, a team that we haven't really talked about much throughout the season, they're still here to play and see if they can get it.
Yeah, Asterisk made it in as 16th place. So that is the last team that could have made it into the finals without having to play through a wild card match. And that's mostly the reason. They haven't really shown up in a big way. Still trying to prove themselves, and if they could win the entirety of PWM here, that would be quite fantastic. Not what we would have expected, Joel.
I mean, but this is the day to do it. I mean, you do have 5 rounds, and you just have to really turn on your Super Saiyan mode and to make sure that you're ready to play in these 5 rounds and you get the big money in. Teams have done it in the past where PSS Season 1, I think that's a great example of it. Talking about Argus and Trin, team coming out of nowhere. Still is kind of not considered a top team in Korea. Just winning out PSS Season 1 along with Rocket Armor getting second and Actus Indigo, not Actus Stars Red. They're going to get third in that championship, and it only took a day of 5 rounds to get them there as well. So, and don't count any teams out just yet, because it's not like the regular season when you have to be consistent and do well for multiple matches in multiple days. It's just going to be really who decides to turn up on the day. We're going to see Asterisk here trying to take some shots.
Yeah, you'll notice Hyman actually just going up the hill, doing a bit of scouting, runs straight into Asterisk, and then he turns his butt right back around. He's like, nuh-uh, not going in there. We have spotted a team, and it looks like ROG Centurion just going to hang around towards the bottom side of this hill. We'll see if they do stick around here or if they do want to fight.
Gonna see the same thing happen now, too. This is looking like Freaka Freaks Airs here, and David's gonna get knocked out already.
Oh, but they switched to the shotguns and trying to go down the hill to take out Daewoo, and they end up getting knocked, a couple of them themselves. Really unfortunate for them.
Rosar just getting shot here. Taemin just going to be on the sniping duties here and trying to get towards any open targets that he can get to. Elka's going to be in the front line, and he's going to be trying to roam in here, trying to get the rest of Freaka Freaks Airs here.
Yeah, this is a really good location. If only he had a grenade. It doesn't look like he does. He's just trying to spam down that car. Receiving some shots back from Gukyan. Is going to blow up that car. Doesn't get any kills here. Rosar still knocked.
Rosar's not going to get res quite yet, and talked about having that lack of vehicles. Now just getting blown up. Taemin still on the sniping duties, of course, with a 6x skill. He can't attach it 8 times anymore on that Scar, and see what he can do on that range. And now he has a grenade. Wish he could have just thrown that over to Elka. That would have been nicer.
Yeah, you know, you don't cook it. You just throw this bomb over towards your teammate, and maybe that will work out. Dingception getting a nice steal kill there onto Daewoo.
Dingception, he's ready to play. He definitely has that sniping duties. You know, not many people will know, but Dingception was the original streamer that started off the first generation, literally the first generation Korean PUBG, and he was known for sniping skills of really being able to spot people from so far away. And Doongil, he's not going to be the only one to spot people from far away as he gets that with the SKS.
Yeah, nice shooting there. Made it look really easy. They were lining up for him, and Doongil was like, thank you very much. I'm going to take a couple of these shots. Gets the knock, doesn't get a kill just yet.
See, they're splitting the ammos now and trying to be ready for this next encounter. Freaka Freaks Airs, they're definitely still onto that fight against OPGG Hunters, and kind of change the action here with Genji Gold being around the area, trying to see at the bottom of the current circle, right next to Minos Generales.
Yeah, Actos Indigo actually just driving straight through the west side of the circle into the middle, so they're going to be running through a lot of different teams. Curate having trouble driving too, trying to back out of that one, and now he's running. Taking a lot of damage, but he does get behind the rock just barely in time.
One ammo away from Curate getting knocked there, and it would have been an awkward situation for him to crawl to anywhere trying to get a res on, but doesn't even have any teammates nearby. Matkow's the closest one, and Jayan and the other member trying to just join in with his vehicle now and trying to just come into this location, but Eska and the rest of Genji Gold with playthroughs trying to shoot at him earlier. Trying to get that through, and you can see the opening of the next circle and see where that leads to.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the different teams. It's going to be up in the top right. That's where a lot of teams are not currently. And so your Genji Golds, your Genji Blacks are going to have to rotate in. Also both Rocket teams down there in the south side. And teams are trying to make a move right now. You'll notice Cloud9 even from the top west side, the northwest, trying to drive in here with ROG Centurion.
This is where we have a lot of action, Valdez, when we see an opening of an extreme circle just like that. A lot of teams that are opposite from the current location. And they're going to be trying to push through and trying to drive through as early as they can. And it's going to be a situation like that. And BSG Luna trying to do the same. And Sonic's trying to knock him down.
You'll notice Wicked having trouble with this motorcycle. Now he's just running up the face of a hill. Absolutely no cover. And he's going to be sniped now by MVP Siege from a different location.
Yeah, getting attacked from both sides now. Maximum Mad. Sonic's still shooting at that range. But MVP is going to be shooting from a different angle here. Right at the top, you see him a lot closer. Then when Maxwell Matt is going to get that kill over there, and BSG Luna already lose their first man.
Yeah, really not a good spot for them. They were trying to aggressively rotate, and they get punished for it. Now they're on the side of a hill with not much protection. Max still mad, as well as MVP up there on the top of the hill, just looking down on them, saying, come at me, bro, if you want to come out of whatever little cover you have. And now a Freaka Freaks Fatal coming behind him.
Just look at the map right there, in the mini-map on the bottom right. You see so many different colored icons. Everyone is scattered up, and everyone just clustered up in this area and trying to just get that next location, but everyone is thinking the same thing. You're going to get a lot of fight coming through and lots of kills coming through at this point in the game.
Yeah, Kongdu red dot as well. making their move in. They are sticking together as a team, which I do like, into this chaos, taking some shots into a Freak of Freaks fatal, but now being shot from somewhere else. Looks like Clock is going to take a back seat there.
Here's the other Freaker team trying to make their entrance through a Freak of Freaks fatal. Jaden, Roa, Shadow. Trying to see what they can do there. Of course, the Mollies being procced over there. You can see on that little house there.
Wow. Oa, just from somewhere else on the map, gets a headshot onto Roa with the Car 98, knocks him straight down. You'll notice that Shadow also on basically 1 health here, and Roa goes down. Chromatic actually going to steal that kill.
Okay, so it does get that 10 points for Chromatic, for Genji Black. It's going to be fine to do so. Jaden just trying to get out of there, but still see a lot of trouble with now all Rocket Armor trying to get past there.
Yeah, trying to take some shots, but now Rosar kind of regretting that decision, as even Rocket Hexa taking some shots now. Rosar going to have to prone.
Okay, so it wasn't Rocket Armor, it was actually Rocket Invo's taking that shot through, and yeah, you're Ryan. And they're just getting shot through right outside the circle. They're trying to make an entrance in, but try to drive in it first before they can do that, but still a lot of pressure being put in by Freak of Freaks Ares here.
Yeah, notice the grenades. He's trying to roll them down the hill just a bit. Not going to quite land in. The circle, look at this. It kind of looks like it's just keeping everybody out except Max still mad, and a bit of WGS there.
I mean, the white circles that have been opening up recently in these past couple of ones, it's like a little cockroach that always runs away, and everyone is seen, and it just wants to stay hidden and gets away from everybody here. And you talked about, you know, the bottom left, the southwest of the current circle being such a big attraction. You gotta see a fight coming both ways here.
Yeah, Jaden just trying to drive on in. Gonna run over Isco, but Aqua 5 will finish him off to help out his teammate.
Towards Jess now, though, trying to see what he can do. Jess just trying to go for the grenades so he can pick up an early kill.
Let's see if he can actually land it there on Aqua 5. This one could be good. Look at it coming in.
Oh, that's a close
one. Right on top of him! Literally right on top of him. And now it's going to be up to Draft to res his teammate somehow.
Oh, but look at that Asterisk right in front. Freak of Freaks fatal. They have to be careful. They're going to be spotted on multiple angles. Dangerous situation now. Jesna, what can he do?
Oh, a grenade coming on in is actually going to take down Oa, as Jesna from the right side trying to help out his teammate Shadow.
This is a very important flank right here. Jesna trying to get the other member with Lokers. Still not really spotting where he might be in. 4 members of Asterisk now going to be down to 3. See what they can do, but really awkward situation where Freak of Freaks fatal are making this life very, very difficult here. Genji Black here, MVP.
Coming on in, saying thank you very much for the kill. Easy peasy, man, all by himself. Siege now going to take some shots onto Esther, who does get knocked down. But the rest of MVP Black is helping them out. But look at this, Blue coming on in from the bottom side, going to be able to knock 2.
Blue's going to get that flank, and they don't know where he is. Sexy Pig has to find him really quickly, or otherwise Genji Black might get an early exit.
Yeah, Yunru goes down too. Chromatic going to lose the firefight with Blue on half health. Oh boy, not a good showing so far, and Sexy Pig alone is going to have to do it. But he's getting shot from somewhere else, and down they go. Genji Black, our favorites of the tournament, go out first.
That's a crucial mistake right there. You talked about having to spawn out. Blue is killing everyone out of Genji Black. It's going to go down in 20th, the last place in the first round that we have here in Miramar. Of course, you got 4 rounds to go, but that's a huge point to overcome if you're Genji Black.
That's not the start they were looking for, that's for sure. Just getting caught in between Iraq and 5 other teams was the case for them up on the hill of Miramar. So we are going to have a Genji-less rest of this match. Genji Gold still looking good, though. We can talk about them. Good position inside the circle, able to take some shots. All 4 members still available, and Eska going to start off with a knock.
And, you know, I would hate to break it to you, but, you know, this is a continuation from yesterday's match at PSS Day 2 when Genji Black placed first place overall and MVP placing second overall. They were at that battle the entire time, and Genji Black definitely gets the revenge back against. You know, MVP was looking so fiery after they spawned at that first knock. They knew they had to get the kills, and they did so.
Yeah, we did lose another team. I'm trying to figure out who it was. Not 100% sure on that, but Kong Dugili Suit trying to take some shots at Miracle over there, who hits him in the face with that M24. It was BSC Luna. I was looking for them on the map, and I couldn't find them, and they actually go out in 19th place.
Absolute shock already for this very first round. Genji Gold maybe the only team remaining and are hopefuls to really come out to the occasion and try to do well. But this is what we've been talking about, Valdez. The teams that have always done well in the regular season, they could have a fall off and see if they can't really do as they usually do. That could happen. And same thing is happening now. Team Clux looking like they're in trouble with Kong the Red Dot.
Kong the Red Dot looking good so far. 3 kills as a squad, and Clux, they don't necessarily know where they are.
Great angle coming from South. That's going to get the finish onto Clux, it seems like.
Yeah, that's only Leklo now against 4, and he's being shot from so many different angles here. Down he goes, and Clux, our amateur team, goes down in 18th place.
Sal plays that hills very brilliantly there and gets the grenade on, and you knew as soon as he made that flank there was no chance for Team Clux, and they already go out in 18th place.
Yeah. Sinone trying to come down here and challenge up in the front. If he's got a grenade, that's easy couple of kills. It's only a smoke that he's got, but he will just take the shot onto Proud. Can't quite blow up the car just yet, though.
Love that really recover from the frag grenade, deafening. And Sinon, I wonder if he spotted that already. Oh, that frag grenade.
There it is. He was already so low, but it was enough to kill him as it was super close, and he'll be knocked for now. Take a look at ROG Centurion. Only Hunsuk is left available, and so many different teams are being eliminated right now.
He's going to be proning right there and thinking like he's going to be invisible, but Genji Gold trying to pick out Style from this angle and see if they can spot him, but they're going to be surrounded by multiple teams now.
It was a terrible circle for Genji Gold. They were on the actual opposite side of the blue circle from this white, and they're making their way in. They're doing okay so far. We're taking a look also at C9. On the side of this hill. They have a lot of cover with smokes and destroyed vehicles. Let's see if they can get out of this one.
And we're going to see a Freaking Freaks Aris going down in 17th place. Teams are dropping left and right here. Oh, but look at this. Cloud9 in ultimate trouble. They're out.
Grenade does it. Mangano gets 3 kills on Suck, Catch, Endingception, and Cloud9 goes out in 15.
Oh my goodness, and that's Actus Indigo going down 16, Cloud9 at 15. So many of these teams that we are having high expectation for, just going down left and right here. Entus Ace having a hard time against the blue and see what they can do.
Yeah, you know who's having a fantastic round is Genji Gold.
Oh my goodness.
They get the worst circle possible. They fight through Kong the Red Dot.
Look at that circle.
They fight through Kong the Red Dot, and now they've made it in, and they are rewarded with a good circle. They deserve it. They got 4 members, 4 kills. Let's see if they can finish off this round.
I mean, when you overcome multiple tough circles as Genji Gold, you are rewarded with this really nice circle at the very crucial point in the game when everyone has gone through the chaos and gone through multiple kills and wiping out of 8 teams. Genji Gold is now trying to strategize through how they can win this round 1 and go way over the team favors we have with Genji Black and BSG Luna already out in this game. Genji Gold looking very good for this round 1.
Hunsuk going down there to Captain America. He was able to get the knock there onto Christus, but was killed before he could get the kill. So 12th team out will be ROG Centurion, but you can see what's going on the map right now. Genji Gold, the only one in a fantastic position, on top of the high ground inside the circle. WGS also have the majority of their team inside the circle, but not as good of a position, I would argue, on the map.
And look at where Genji Gold is approaching right now. Max Tomad right in front, but we're going to get to Asterisk first, see if they can survive against WGS Arena here.
Well, Lokers says hello and then says goodbye, not realizing they were inside the house.
Circle starting to close, and Genji Gold, they have a lot of time to move around. They're so close to this next circle. They don't have to move in as quickly here, but see that little icon, the 15 gray one right outside Genji Gold is going to be Entus Ace. Still trying to get in, but other fights still happening around now because the tougher rotation comes in the opposite angle.
Max still mad, a team we haven't looked at too much. They have 4 members, but one of them is going to be knocked by Actos Stars Red, who's trying to come on in.
Genji Gold's just waiting for all this fight to end now. The EJ, as we call it in Korean, this is going to be the one they just waited out for everyone else to fight. They can pick up their rewards right after it's all done and well through.
Yeah, hiding behind that car there, Simpson's got to be careful he doesn't get killed in the explosion. Oa gets another kill with the Car 98. Would be curious to see how Asterisk is doing. Eska picks up another kill and the crowd goes wild.
Oh, Max Somad just going on cares here and see what they can do against Actus Red.
It is TPP, so they have good eyes on top of Actos Stars Red, who are really struggling to get inside the circle here. Captain America going to be knocked down. It's all up to Star-Lord, but he's in the blue too.
Circle's closing in, and this one's going to hurt quite a bit if they don't heal back in time. And it's going to be Actos Stars Red. Also, Max Nomad going down in both situations here.
Star-Lord still inside somehow, some way. He's found this little wooden fence to hide behind right now. Can spot where they are because it is TPP, but again, he's up against 3 members of Max Still Mad, but they do have to move across the circle. Another circle that's just on the opposite side here of Genji Gold as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to run into Genji Gold, Max Still Mad. They're looking around to see where the last member of Actisar's Red was, but WG Serena trying to find him at Rocket Armor here.
Yeah, Rocket Armor with 4 members trying to run on in. They will get the kill onto School. Will WGS trying to hold them to it right now, 2-on-3. Gonna close the door, the grenade, not good. Meanwhile, Genji Gold making quick work of Max Still Mad.
3v2 here, trying to get deafened up and trying to go to the stun grenades, trying to make it through, but still gonna be rushing in.
Oh, he's able to get 1 kill. DG98 does go down though. It's gonna be all up to him. We aren't gonna get a look at that as John Edward takes out WGS, but Simpson popping off here against Max Still Mad. So much energy now and action, and that's going to be the end of Max Still Mad. Genji Gold, they are racking up the kills with all 4 members still left alive.
8 players alive, Valdez, and the 4 of them goes to Genji Gold, and the other 4 are going to be just roaching around, trying to find out the nerf's location, but they're going to be fighting against each other, and Genji Gold looking like they pick up the scraps for the win.
Rocket Im's Hexa, the only one here for his team. He's held down the little huts all alone, but it's going to be really hard for him to do it.
Oh, he's going to do the
grenade, though. The grenade, will it get him?
Okay, the underhand does come through. Clader is healed up, but he knows where to go from here.
He's outside the building, and down he does go to the Uzi from Eska.
Wow.
Now it's up to Rocket Armor.
Look at this, with the knock coming through from Hexa's grenade, and he's trying to get the knocks coming through. John Edwards trying to get the job done as well.
Star-Lord goes down, and now it's only 2 members of Rocket Armor. And one gets taken out. Simpson going to be knocked as well, but now it's only Big Son that's left alive.
You're going to have to probably get the revs up before they start on anything. I don't think they're going to be starting up before anything happens. Big Son's going to be the last one standing. That's going to be a 2v1 scenario. Loki and Clader, even Eska getting revs up. They're trying to finish the job and get that chicken dinner in the first round.
Yeah, it's better to do it 3v1 than 2v1. Get the res waited out, and Big Son with no cover. Going to eat a grenade. They're trying to kill him with grenades. And down he does go. Clader going to get the kill, and that will be round 1 going over to Genji Gold.
Hear the cheers coming from the crowd, Valdez. That means a good team won the round 1. That is Genji Gold looking like they were the favorites out of the teams that were remaining, with Genji Black and BSG Luna going down. Simpson, absolute monster on that round 1, getting the kills where it mattered and getting the snipes where Clader finishing off the game. He's going to get the cheer from the crowd, and Genji Gold looking like they have a really good round 1 heading off to the rest of the 4 rounds.
Those guys looked so clean in round number 1. They didn't get the best luck. They didn't win because of RNG. They fought through so many different teams, and they won so many different fights, 4v4, and they deserve the win for sure. They make it all the way to the end, and Miramar TPP will be theirs. Can they keep it up? Let's wait and see.
We always give the praise over to Genji Black for the reason that they can survive for the longest of time, and they do get the most consistent results. But Genji Gold is always coming a close second, because when they're given the win conditions, they might be the best team in Korea to know how to handle that win condition to get the chicken dinner every time. And here they are, once they were given a good condition out of the top 12 teams remaining. Genji Gold knew how to take the win, and a very clean one, like you said, Valdez, off that round 1.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the highlights from the entire match here, but if we can take a look at the Genji Gold ones, I want you guys to pay attention to how many firefights these guys actually win. And they kept 4 members alive for nearly the entire game.
Absolutely crazy stuff, and BSG Luna was an absolute shock that they would go down in one of the last places here. And you know, when the best teams go out early in this round 1, you just give the other good teams that are still remaining here, and that was Genji Gold in that occasion, with Genji Black dying out to MVP. They literally risked all their lives just to kill that Genji Black. This was an absolute revenge from yesterday's match from PSS Day 2, and here they are just getting the job done. Sexy Pig not going to escape there.
Yeah, MVP did a good job there, even though they did go out shortly after. They win the firefight against a really good team. Should give them some confidence going in. Cloud9, unfortunately, they grouped up as 3, and all of them got blown up by 1 grenade and 1 vehicle explosion.
And I love that Genji Gold, they don't really need it to be FPP, which is their stronger mode, to really win out games. If they're given win conditions, they know how to handle it, whether it's TPP or FPP in. And here they are, look at that Simpson coming for that wonderful recoil, coming with that AKM. So good with how he controlled that. That's how you get the kills, and Simpson showed once again why he's one of the best fraggers right now.
Simpson, Clader, Loki, and Eska, the four of them just looking really solid. We are going to go into an interview, guys, actually. Forgot to mention this, an interview after every single matchup, every round. So I am going to hand it over to Joel to help translate.
We're just going to try to get updated to every single rounds of play, and with PUBG Warfare Masters very much underway with the grand finals. And we do have a lot of teams still contending and trying to make their mark to become the champions of the very first season of PWM. And we're going to try to talk with the player, see what they feel. We're going to talk with Genji Gold with Clater on the interview booth. You have a lot of cheers right now, and how do you feel, and anything you like to say? Just saying a little hello, that comes from Clater. You do have the Genji Gold has been looking so good and throughout the season, and they were one of the, you guys were one of the favorites to win out the whole competition. How was round one altogether? It was a difficult round, and but Simpson really gave the precise shot calling that gave us the really good direction how to move forward. And that just told us really just whenever the things came through, we knew how to get the wins, we knew how to get the kills, but it was really up to Simpson's shot calling. That was the most important thing. And it really was. You're talking about Clater, you got the shots on, and Simpson got his shot calling on. But what is the most important thing? What is the shot calling? What was the difference today compared to the other matches? I feel like, Simpson just took nights overnight, not even sleeping through to make sure he is ready for PWM finals, and he definitely studied things through. He knew how to play today. Of course, it's showing up right away in round one, and everything now is paying off ever since starting from round one. I'm sure that gives you a lot of pride going forward here. And with today's match, how are you guys feeling for the matches that you were going to play in ahead? Of course, we didn't get to ask before the games began. How was your condition? We didn't feel too nervous about today's matches, and I think the interview is feeling a lot more nervous than that. How do we make him more comfortable, Clater? And that's going to be Suyun trying to make him a little more comfortable there, but... We talk about the third and fourth circle being so important for you guys, and how you guys handle that, changing the pace of the game. And it really was. I feel like the finals, the buff is on the way and just making you like so good on every point in the map. And you had to enter in so aggressively on that point. And of course, that fifth circle was really good job for you guys, and how you guys handled that. The fourth circle was a difficulty for you guys. How did you guys handle it, especially in terms of shot calling coming from Simpson? In the fourth circle, we were trying to look out with the two players looking outside the circle and the two players looking on the inside. And that was me and Simpson, and trying to look on the inside tracks to keep notice of everybody that was aware. So we knew what to do after that one, and we got the information. We tried to make sure we weighed out and go for that EJ to make sure that we were ready to fight once the fights were done and over with. It really was. You guys are doing a split 2-2 there, trying to make things happen. Was that a plan coming from the shot calling from Simpson? Definitely was. And you really were stellar in the ways you handled the last few seconds of that game, and in terms of getting the kills where it mattered. And it really was a refreshing feeling for you guys, and doing so well, getting the kills that were really given to you. And the last circle was the difficult thing, where you had to just be outnumbered and trying to really just go through and just shove it through and trying to see what you can make out about. You have made a really hard push by yourself with that motorcycle, trying to get that one person in that hut. What was the thought process behind that? We knew that if we didn't get that one hut, it would give us a disadvantaged position. So we tried to make sure once we clear out that hut, we knew we would be ready to go to finish out the game, and we took the risk of sending myself out there, and it was a risk that we wanted to take. And did you feel like you had the belief that you could take the hut? We didn't have faith, but I think we had to go regardless. It was the risk that we had to take. You guys really took the risk, the dangers that went involved in that, to take that very precious building. That was really the key point in getting you guys the win. But Now you did only conclude one round and do have 4 more rounds to go, because it's really hard to know that if Gen G Gold will be the eventual champions, but you still have a good first footing into trying to get that, but anything like say in the end. This is my first time being a pro gamer in any type of title, so I'm trying to get a title, trying to get this championship is going to be my objective with this team. And that was the interview with Gen G Gold with Claytor, who do pick up that first round, looking very good as they advance to the next rounds to come.
So that's going to do it, guys. We are going to go into a very quick break before we go into round 2 of this final.